It's me, Jordan Long, and today, here's probably something that someone had never asked me, but asked me, you know, why is it that you always would make your film right after Sailor Moon's film? Well, it wasn't always like that. When I first started this YouTube Fairway, this would have been about 7 years ago, I was making the films later in the day. I wasn't doing them like around 7 or so right after one of Sailor Moon's films. But when we used to go over to McKeesport Stead, and anyone who's can go way back to my early films, this would have been anywhere, well, this would have been anywhere between 2012 YL to 2013 YL. But this YouTube Fairway only has stuff from June up to August of that year. But when we used to go there all the time, there was only one reckoner. Well, I'm not going to get in and talk about, but there was one reckoner. Oh, there was two, and something happened to the other one. I'm not going to talk about that. But anyway, and when you only have one, you have to share it. So you have to have all the time to get everything you want to get in. So someone has time to work with it. So that's why I would make my film rather Sailor Moon's film. And the belief was that if someone needed to work with that one, then they could. Well, I guess it just became a thing I just started doing. And I figured it wasn't broken, don't fix it. Now, if I don't do one at 7, there most likely would be folks saying, well, Jordan didn't get one made at 7. What's going on? Yeah, so I've been doing that way too long like that. But that's where it all started. So it almost looks like I almost rush through my films, which I don't, but Sailor Moon's films takes out the big chunk of time, and I go right on right after that. You know? So someone might ask me that. Yeah, Jordan, it would be like, King Kong goes, it'd be like someone asking, why does Xena do her films right after any TWF film? And you might say it's just something that happened. When you get the urge to do it and get it out of the way. Yeah, I guess so. Because I guess just to do the film and then have it done. And then the rest of the day for other things. That's how you set your. I guess that's why I do it. But 7 wasn't always the first start time for me. Going way back to my first YouTube Fairway and into this one, it was many times. 7, sometimes it could have been 5 or 6 in the evening, I don't know. It shifted. And when I was borrowing the Gateway one, this would have been anywhere from August of 2015 YL until November of 2015 YL. The films were being done at 9 because there was a mishap that happened and I had to start doing them at 9 until I got my own reckoner again. And then they started going back up at 7, but they were all over the stead at that point. But it was just something I started doing back when I used to go over there and when I was sharing a reckoner, hoping that, alright, now I have enough time to do all the things I need to do, and if they need to be on it and do something, there they go. And it just became something I started doing. That's why. And I know there's going to be some folks out there saying, well, Jordan, why would you make a whole film talking about that? Could I give me something to talk about? Because I know what to talk about, so I came up with something to talk about. Well, it was either that or you could have talked about what you thought of, what you think about my new film. When I think about your new film, well, King Kong, you don't really have new films. Most of them are just remakes. Very, you don't really got ongoing films. But if you're talking about you and Godzilla fighting in that film, well, I haven't seen it yet, but I thought it was good. From when I thought. And if you're talking about your film, that's another remake of a remake of a remake, then I would say it was good too. Yeah. And I before I end this film, I could just throw that out there. Oh, hold on. Oh. And then I guess I could just throw that right out there and then say, yeah, King Kong doesn't. He really doesn't have any upgoing films. There tends to be a lot of remakes. But that's not even the grounds of the film. This ground of this film was about why I do the films at 7, like I've been doing for about 7 years, on and off. Then something would happen and I couldn't do it at 7, but most are all done at 7. I'm Jordan Long, and I hope you like this film.